That ain't gonna work. Come on, big baby. Cuzzo! What's up, Cuzzo? There he is. Let me see here. Went straight through. My guy.
What's happening, brother?
Oh, man, that one went straight through. It usually be technical difficulties and things.
Hey man, I guess they looking out for us tonight, brother. That's all.
Yeah, it must have been meant to be, champ. It must have been meant to be, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's it
How
going,
you
brother?
feel? Man, I'm blessed, D. I'm blessed, man. I can't complain, man. How you feeling?
Man, I can't complain either, brother. Blessed too, brother. Just trying to make things happen.
Hey, man, as long as we get up and they give us a shot at it, man, they in trouble.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, we gonna make it happen for sure.
You feel me? That's how they raised us. You did. So, I've been doing these little chaotic conversations, and basically, I try to bring my peers on here that motivate me, that I look up to, that I think are doing amazing things, not only entrepreneur-wise, but in the community. Just positive influence, so these young brothers and our young people could see this, and even people our age, and understand that it's a lot more avenues to do things, and it's some people out here who push it in the right direction. You know what I mean? And
That's
they
right.
shouldn't go unnoticed, and they deserve their roses and their flowers. You know what I mean? And I want to
Mm.
start a trend where us as young men, as young black men, as young black people, give each other their flowers, salute each other, not compete with each other, but try to complete each other. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. No, that's real. That's real talk.
So you do a lot of amazing things, not only in the community, but business wise and just different things. So I just thought that you have a plethora of knowledge that can help people and motivate people. So I thought you'd be a good person to chop game with, man.
I appreciate that, brother. I don't know about how much of a plethora I have, but I appreciate that.
So me and D go back, man. We used to go to Catholic school, man, many moons ago. So I knew D since, you know what I
Man.
mean? I was in kindergarten. I don't know. I think you may be like 1 or 2 years older than me, but you know what I mean? We ain't gonna expose our age like that. But you know what I mean? I know you're a couple
Hey,
older.
hey, brother, I'm 44. I ain't gonna sit here and perpetrate or nothing like that. I got the gray hairs.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
what it
okay.
is. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, hey, back then it seemed like y'all was 4 or 5 years older, but y'all was only 2, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, brother, that's just because I was a little big kid, child. I was a big
Right.
one. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Kick,
listen,
kick.
I always tell, every time I see my brother D, I always tell him, back in the days when we was at St. Emilius, D was the kid that if you didn't let him play with your ball, he gonna kick it on the roof, man, on the gym roof.
Hey, bro,
Hey,
you ain't supposed to be
everybody couldn't even kick
exposing
the
that.
ball on the roof. So D would be like, let me see. And then, boy, he didn't do me like that because he had love me. But the rest of them, I didn't see them kick him. Many of them, shut up. I'm going to tell the teacher, go tell them. How they going to get it? It's up there on the roof.
Hey, bro, I don't know if you remember the referrals, brother. Pink slips, bro. I had a dictionary full of pink slips from the stuff I used to do back in in Catholic school, bro. That shit used to be crazy, bro. I used to be like, damn, man, what's going on?
Right. What type of situation is this they got us in?
It was wild, but yeah, I used to be a little rough, bro. But I'm thankful. God humbled me and gave me some humility, brother, so I could calm that down.
I got you. I got you. Hey, I'm right in the same boat with you, man. You know what I mean? I'm so blessed that, you know what I mean, he gave me some purpose and helped me find it and focus on it. You know what I mean? Because
Yes,
I didn't
sir.
know which direction I was going. Now that I'm older, I can see I thought I knew where I was going. I didn't know what I was doing. Do you know what I mean?
But bro, one thing that I realized, man, is that in life, all the directions that we may have went in, even if it wasn't the best, it really was good for you personally because
Right.
now you can talk. That's your testimony. You know what I'm talking about? So
Straight
now
up.
you able to tell others, and the influence that you have, you able to help others, especially the youngsters. So that's a blessing, bro. So don't never trip off of the route that you took to get there.
Yeah.
Man, I'm thankful for you, brother, because I know where you been, bro. I didn't seen it.
Straight up. Straight up. Straight up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Slide through the block. You know what I'm saying? You out there getting it in.
Man,
So
dedicated.
I know.
I can say I was dedicated if I can't say nothing else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You were that.
Yeah. So let's talk. I mean, I got a lot of things to ask you about. I know of course, we got these trees that's going to be on top of the list, but also I know you dibble and dabble in making jewelry and stuff like that as well, right?
I don't actually do that anymore personally, but I was working in the industry, and I
Okay.
still have my hands somewhat in the industry. Dealing with a shop that's out in San Pablo area. It's a little
Okay.
mall out there in San Pablo. But I used to design. I can still kind of design the jewelry and set it up, and I know how to set out the diamonds, lay out the diamonds, and all that type of stuff. But one of the things that I always try to say, and I really want to make sure I push that tonight with the jewelry aspect, is
Hmm.
that we got to learn as Black folk and as people that really don't know. I don't care if you're black or white or whatever, but if you don't understand something, learn it before you get into it.
Right.
And what I mean by that is that a lot of times people, I used to see people all the time, and I used to come in there and, I had to be honest with folk. I'm like, look, man, an ounce ain't what you think an ounce is when it turns into gold. You talking about agricultural. When you talking about weed, cocaine, and all the other shit
Right.
that we might know from the hood,
Yeah, right.
that's
Right.
different. That's
Yeah.
different. You feel me? An ounce,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, is a little different. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
numbers are different. But when you look up agricultural as opposed to a troy ounce, it's a little bit different. And some of these spots, I ain't gonna name some of them, but some of the ones that's in some of these malls throughout the Bay Area,
Hmm.
you go in there talking about I only want 28 grams. That's what they're
Right.
gonna give you. And they're gonna charge you
Right.
that ounce price. You know what I'm talking about?
I got you. I got you.
So as opposed to getting your 31 grams is what a troy ounce really is. You know what I'm saying? Or
Okay.
when you go in there and you don't understand diamonds. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Everybody on this, oh, I want VVS's. Okay, that's cool. But do you really know the difference? Can you look at it? Can you tell? Can you look through the little loop and see the difference? Most people can't do that. And most people are getting played. You know what I'm saying?
What would be something for like the average? Like I know you said do your research, but for the average person who's trying to just look at something, is there any tips they could kind of to make it be better for them, or they really need to talk to somebody who knows?
Nah, I mean, Google University is always going to be at the top of the list for
Okay,
anything. That
for
they'll
real.
tell it helps you, understand. But the one thing that I really want people to understand, I see you got yours on right now, but the
Yeah,
main thing that people don't realize is that diamonds ain't really worth shit. Just to be
right.
honest, I can cuss on here, right?
Yeah, yeah. You can do your thing, man. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. For
okay.
sure, for
I
sure.
just talk freely. I know I shouldn't be cussing so much, but I cuss.
Hey,
So I'm
man,
just gonna keep
they
it.
gotta understand where we coming from. They know the language.
You feel me? So, but the main thing is diamonds really ain't worth nothing, and how you know that is they not really traded on a stock exchange. Gold
Right,
is traded, so
right.
gold has the value, but the diamonds really don't hold that much value. And that's why when if you lose, some money or whatever, and you're trying to get some money back, you can't go to the pawn shop or go to a shop and say, "Hey, I paid $20,000 for this piece. Can I get $20,000?" They gonna
Right.
look at you and be like, "Nah,
Man.
the diamonds ain't really worth nothing to us because we don't really care about that. The gold, we gonna give you scrap gold prices." You
Right.
follow what I'm saying? So you still never gonna be able to get what you paid for. So people gotta realize that make your jewelry gold heavy more so than you do the diamonds, the rubies, and all that type of stuff.
Right.
I love all those type of things. Man, working in the jewelry industry, I didn't have some nice pieces, but
Right.
as time kind of goes on, I start thinking like, man, it ain't really worth nothing. If I ever get into a bind, I can't take my chain off or take my rings off and be like, hey, I need to get some money out of this so I can get out of
Right.
a bind or so I can go do something to bust a move. You
Right.
can't do that. So what I would tell people, if you want to invest just in gold itself, hit up one of these little gold shops that sell coins, buy coins, 24 karat gold coins to
Mm.
keep them around because they always going to hold their value. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But the
Okay.
chain, the
Okay.
jewelries, and all that type of stuff. Another thing too that I used to run into, I used to tell people all the time: buy 18 karat gold or better. 14
Hmm.
karat gold, most people don't understand. It's only 55% gold.
Right.
So you got
You buy some
45%.
real metal.
You got 45% of other stuff, but they charging you more for 14 karat because they got to touch it. Every time we
Mm.
touch something in the industry, I got to
Yeah.
charge you more for that because that's my manpower. That's my
Yeah.
labor. You follow
Hmm.
what I'm saying? But 18
Yeah.
karat is a little different. They can't charge you as much for that. So I want
Hmm.
people to understand that too. And that's what I used to try to tell people when they come to the shop. Hey man, don't be so worried about getting, 10. I would never buy 10 karat. 10 karat really ain't even gold to me personally.
Right. That's
So, I
gold
mean,
plated.
I mean, basically, because it's
Yeah.
under 50%. I mean, you ain't even
Right.
got half and half. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but people don't realize that. But that's one thing that I
Yeah.
really want to tell people. But go to Google University if you want to know about diamonds all of this, this trend stuff where, folks running around with diamond testers and shit. But okay, you can have a diamond tester, but you can have an eye inclusion diamond, which is basically an included diamond that is really worth zero. They
Mm,
use that like in drill bits and stuff like that for construction because it's like
okay.
it's the lowest quality of a diamond. You know what I'm
But
saying?
it'll
But
pass
people
the
don't.
testing.
It'll pass the test, but
Yeah.
you have garbage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's really not worth. So people need to know that. People need to understand that. And when I was at the jewelry shop, I used to tell people that, hey, look, man, it's only another couple hundred more dollars, maybe 500. I know you're on a budget. If you got to come back in a couple of weeks, put a couple more dollars on it. Get at least 18 karat and better. And if you
Right.
don't, and you can't do it, then just don't do it at all. Don't just want to, shine so hard to where you losing. I want you to
Right.
win. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Make it an investment into your future, not just into your image and your look. You know what I mean?
And that's what most people worry about. They wearing costume jewelry. That's what I call 10 and 14 karat nowadays. No offense to nobody that got 14 karat, but that shit really costume jewelry though. You know what I'm saying? Really. I mean, just to be
Right.
honest, because you can't
Right.
really get nothing out of it. You know what I'm saying? Go to 18 karat, and 18 is more solid. So 18 karat, you can put diamonds and stones. You can put that in there and it'll hold it. 22, okay. 24, it's a little too soft. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because if you
Yeah.
put diamond, you could put a diamond in a 24 karat, but it has a better chance of falling off or falling out. You don't want to have $10,000 worth of diamonds, just diamonds that you bought. That's not really worth 10,000. Let's get that clear. But you can have $10,000 worth of diamonds that you bought at the shop. That should have just fall right out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
18, I would tell everybody stay at the 18 karat gold standard. Don't go no lower than that. If you can go higher, but don't worry about the stones. Just yellow. It is hella yellow. 24 karat gold is yellow as hell. It's
Yeah.
bright yellow. It look
Yeah.
like it's glowing. It look like it's glowing almost yellow. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And some people don't like that. But at least 18 karat is best because you'll be able to say I have something worth has value.
The 24 is retaining its value a little bit more than the other. You think? Because I see a
No,
lot of people like leaning towards 24. It's always been popular in other communities, but I'm seeing more of it in our community. You know what I mean? Recent.
absolutely. So I got an app on my phone that I always refer to. It's called Gold Kitco. It's a site that you go to that tells you the price of metals. So on this price right now, as I'm looking at it, gold right now is at $1,771.30 per ounce.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, when you have different, um, 18 karat is what, 90? Is it 90 karat? 90? I haven't been in the shop in so long. I think it's something like 90% gold. And then you got 24, which is just 100% gold. Well, they
Mm-hmm.
call it 99.9, but it really is just 100. So at the $1,771, that's 24 karat. So if you have a chain on, and you say, for instance, you know how to melt the shit down, which is very easy too, and I would advise people to learn how to melt, jewelry down, especially if you're dealing with 24 karat. You can make your own gold bars.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Just to be honest, you
Yeah.
can make your own, and it don't take a whole lot. You don't need no shop or a factory or whatever to do it. I mean, do it somewhere like in a shed or outside because the flame is very hot.
Yeah.
Gold, it could do some weird shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gold
Yeah.
could pop.
Right.
I've had gold blow up on, a guy was working on the gold and some cold air got into this little mold and the gold just blew up. And the shit was everywhere. And when gold blow up, it'll melt through your flesh, through your bone and everything. So you gotta
Wow.
be careful. Gotta be careful.
Right.
But
Out there
but
trying to melt something, trying to melt your gold bar in the backyard.
you're gonna burn the house down. You're gonna burn the square miles down and shit. You're gonna kill yourself. Yeah, we're gonna come and see you. You're gonna be melted gold. You know what I'm saying? But I just tell people that because it has its value. 14 karat ain't really shit. It's just basically costume jewelry.
Yeah.
18, 24 is the best thing that you can do.
Okay. That's okay. Look, that's what I'm talking about, man. See, that's the plethora I'm talking about. We here for what, you know what I'm saying? I knew it was a plethora, you know what I mean? I'm digging and reaching, man. I'm gonna get it up out of there.
Hey
Hey,
man, if you ask the question, I'm gonna give it to you. Ask it, I'm
there
gonna
you
tell you.
go. There you go.
You know,
So I seen you recently. You was on one of your many trips. So tell me about the trip you just took and what countries did you go to on your trip?
man, I just took a 35, 36 day trip. I went to Senegal and Dakar, Senegal in Africa, west coast of Africa. I went to Zanzibar, which is in Tanzania, which is the east coast of Africa. Then I went to Iran, and then I went into Turkey. But Iran, I have to say honestly, was probably the best destination on this trip, and that mainly is because I've never been there before. So I
Okay.
had a chance to experience more. Like when I go to Senegal and stuff like that, I stay with folks as family. So you know what I'm saying? It's just like being at home basically. You know what I'm saying? Except, you know,
Yeah.
you in Africa and you chilling, you eating African food, cultural food or whatever.
Yeah.
But I did purchase some land out there when I went in Dakar this last time. I got me a plot of land that I plan on at some point investing money into and building up my own spot, my own house. So when I go out there, I can always got somewhere to go lay my head at, and I ain't got to worry about nothing.
How was that process? The buying land in another country. How was that process?
I would advise anybody who wants to do that to know somebody there, because
Right.
there's games that can be played. It ain't like buying a house here where you got to go through banks. You know, they got so many checks and balances here, but it ain't really like that there. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Folks can do little shady stuff and lie and make it look good. But you
Yeah.
know, hey, you know where we come from, but we don't play them type of games. If it don't
Right.
sound right, we like, nah, 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 nah.
Oh, yeah. Right.
We ain't going for that. But you know, the process was kind of cool. It's not fully 100% completed yet because of the fact that I have to go through the city hall in Senegal. But I've already paid my money. I got my plot. I got my paperwork that
Hmm.
says that it's my stuff. But it hasn't been official until city hall opens up. But we don't even have no time for that to open up right now. So we're just waiting. But I have paperwork that has my information on it. So if somebody tries to come on and be like, no, 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 that's mine, I can dispute that. And, you know, I could take
Right.
them to court and all that type of stuff. So with that process, but again, you got to deal with somebody who you know. If you don't deal with somebody who you know and you just out there just, you know, you're going to get taken like a fool. You're going to get taken like a sucker, man. It just ain't cool. You know
Right.
what I'm
Just
saying?
like anywhere else. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And they can spot you a mile away.
Straight up. Straight up. Sticking out like a sore thumb, huh?
Man, sword thumb, bro. So then after that, I traveled from Senegal and then I went to Zanzibar.
Hmm.
And in Zanzibar, which is an island of Tanzania on the east coast side, um, I'm in the process currently of I've in the process of buying land there as well.
Okay.
Um, but the beautiful thing about the land in Zanzibar is that it's a beach. It's an island, so I got water. You know what I'm saying? I got water
Mm.
around me, and it's beautiful white sand beaches. You know,
Okay.
beautiful clear water. I have to tell people too. From traveling to Africa, Africa has some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. You know, I think a lot of times, you know, we get so confused with trying to go to Europe and you know, different Caribbean islands and stuff like that, you know, especially here in the West Coast, that
Right.
we get caught up that we don't know that they got all these beautiful islands in Africa. I mean, you could pick any coastal, you know, country in Africa and shit, you're gonna have a nice beach. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
it's nice warm weather. You know, it's not third world country like most people think. You know, it ain't. You know, I mean, you got it. You got people, you know, living in poverty everywhere. Shit, we got people in poverty here. You know what I'm
Right down the
saying?
street outside our front doors.
You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, we can't be so much worried about that foolishness. We got to be more concerned with the fact that we want to go and establish, you know, ourselves and see for ourselves. Because a lot of times, you know, you hear people talk about different things. Like I hear, you know, different, you know, folks that are, you know, supposedly like leaders or whatever talk about, you know, foundational blacks and all that type of stuff and how they don't really trip off of Africa. And, you know, I'm like, bruh, that's our people. What you talking
Right.
about?
What's wrong with you? Yeah. Don't let them
I mean,
trick you.
yeah,
What you mean? Yeah.
you know, then you hear folk talk about, oh, Africans don't like black people in America. I'm like,
Please
okay.
talk about that. Please talk about that right now, D. Please.
So what I realize is this, bro. We got black people that from San Francisco, we got black people from Oakland, since we in the Bay Area, that don't
Right.
like black folk.
Straight up.
And they prove that shit every day because of what they do. They, you know, how they react and interact with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know, being Muslim and whatnot, brother, growing up in the Nation of Islam as a young age, you know, I look at everybody as my brother. You know, if you
Right.
black, you my brother. You brown, you my brother. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
say that, but you have some people that are here, born and raised here in the U.S. that don't look at you as a brother. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So you can't
Right.
expect to go somewhere else and
And just
expect
get, yeah.
the whole population gonna look at you as brother. Nah,
Right.
you can't. You don't get that here. So what make you think you don't get that anywhere else? It just don't
Straight up.
happen. It just don't happen like that. So sometimes, our expectations I think are too high for what we
Yeah.
see. But the people there are so warm and welcoming, and it's not just about they know that you come in with some bread. It ain't even about that. Because
Right.
sometimes people are just saying brother to you. And, I've had people tell me welcome home so many times in all of the countries I've been to. I've been to a lot of countries in Africa. I've been to Senegal. I've been to Cote d'Ivoire. I've been to Ghana. I've been to South Africa. I've been to Ethiopia, Egypt, Kenya, Tanzania. I mean, I've been all over. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
all the places I've been to, I've met most people who always give you that positive, we love, our brothers from America, brother, you my brother, welcome home, welcome back. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But yeah, you're gonna run into some negative shit too though. But does that
Off
mean that
top.
that's gonna make your whole attitude change towards a country or towards, a continent? Because you got some people that don't like you because you black and you from America and they think they fall into some of these stereotypes.
Right.
Like
The
that's a bunch
same
of bullshit.
stereotype that we try to put on some of them. The same on the other way around. You know what I mean?
Like back in the day when we growing up, shit. I remember when I was young. We used to always look at Africans, fufu.
Yeah. Yeah. First thing. Yeah.
Bones and shit in your lips and shit.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
ain't, in some parts of the continent, you might see that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They do live in hut houses and shit. I mean, in houses made of clay and stone and all that type of shit. But that's not everywhere. They got
Right.
downtowns.
You
They
go
got
out here in the South in America, and you go deep in the South, you're gonna see some houses made out of the bare essentials, the bare necessities. And some
that
of these
part.
spots, if you go right here in California, so it's the same, it's not the same, but it's the same ideology and the same balance between the two, of course.
That part. And the other thing too is that we have to stop looking at other continents as if, or countries as if they're beggars. Africa is not a begging country. Yes, there's some poverty there, not some. There's, poverty there, but at the same time, everybody's not, looking with a handout. Like, hey, can you give
Right.
me some money? Hey, I need some help. Hey, can you help the school? Hey, can you pay, can you buy me some supplies? Hey, can you buy me some soccer balls? It's not all like that. You got
Right.
buildings, you got big business going on in Africa. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, I was dealing with some folks in Cote d'Ivoire with the Bow Foundation, and one of the brothers, this brother, whole family runs the cocoa industry for whole Cote d'Ivoire.
Mm.
The cocoa industry, the cacao really is what it is, but that's where you get chocolate from. For those who don't know, but they run that for the whole
Right.
country, and
Right.
most of the cacao chocolate that goes around the whole entire world comes from those Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire. Is it one more? Well, I know for sure those two. Those two countries
Mhm.
for sure are the main spots where all the chocolate in the world, most of the chocolate, not all, but most of the chocolate in the world comes from. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
just being and going out there and chilling, bruh. The brother even offered me a position to where he wanted me to help make sales to Starbucks. I'm like, bruh, I don't know nothing about that, bro. I
Right.
don't even want to get involved.
I'm not even gonna pretend like I do.
I ain't in that. Maybe I can
Yeah.
help find somebody to help you do that, but
Right.
that ain't me.
Right.
I know what I'm capable of and I know what I can and can't do. And if I can't do it, I don't even want to be involved in it. You know what I'm saying? But these are the things that these brothers is trying to do because, we had talked, hey, me being an activist and being out here in these streets and stuff, standing up for community violence and standing up for, the violence that, white supremacy brings from, the police and from the government, all that type of shit. But I noticed that they have issues too. Man, they paying these
Right.
people slave wages,
Right.
slave wages just for getting the cocoa so they can sell it at the top price. But they're not giving the people where they're getting it from, the sourcing it from, the right pay. I mean,
Hmm.
it's a multi-billion-dollar industry a year.
Right.
Africans are only getting a couple million a year.
Yeah.
So you go from billions to a couple millions. That don't
Mm-mm-mm.
sound right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what I told them straight up, I was like, hey, y'all need to make a phone call to the Ghanaians and y'all stand strong and say, hey, if y'all don't pay us fair wages, y'all ain't
Nobody
gonna have
getting
no
that.
cacao.
Right.
Y'all just ain't gonna get none. And then
Right.
like some of us that come from the street when, prices you can't get shit, price go up.
Definitely.
And then at
Yeah.
some point, and then at some point, the
Somebody gonna
folks
bend.
and most times it's gonna be the ones who have been holding out and trying to make folks feel as if they can't pay them the right rates. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right,
So
right,
all of that stuff, bro, it's all the same. That's why when I tell people like how you said you went a certain route, bro, you don't even know how blessed you are with that,
right.
because all of that stuff is all relevant for everything else in your life. You know
Straight
what I'm
up.
saying? Holding a job. Street shit comes into holding a job. I mean, yeah, you
Definitely.
might not be picking up a strap and going to, pop your manager or nothing like that, but you
Right,
still just still the same concept. You know what I'm saying? If you
right,
want it, you got to go get it. You know what I'm
right,
saying? You can't be sitting at home lacking and slacking and all that type of stuff. If you want to go get it,
right.
straight up.
Straight up, straight up, straight up. I always say that the hustle is transferable. You know what I mean? I tell the youngsters
Exactly.
one of the hardest transitions I had to make was figuring out what I was going to do once I couldn't hang in Lakeview every day. You know what I mean? And but once once I realized I had like I thought Lakeview was my world, but I was ignoring the world. You know what I'm saying? For this one little piece of my life, you know what I mean? And I was closing myself off to the rest of life that was open to me and the different things I could explore, you know what I mean? So that's why I think it's important too for our young people just to get out and see different things. You know what I'm saying, bro? I was supposed
Man,
to go to Africa with one of my doctors like 2 years ago, but that's when COVID hit. And we was gonna go do a mission, you know what I mean, and go to different villages and just serve the people and help the people. And a lot of my coworkers was telling me how much of a humbling experience it was. And even when we go to these places, just like the islands and different stuff, just seeing different people and seeing different things that makes your mind think different. You know what I mean? It opens
absolutely.
your eyes, you know what I mean, to seeing what you see every single day for how many years, you know what I mean? You don't know that you could think differently until you expose your mind to different things. And then those different avenues in your mind is what start to open up. You know what I mean?
Man, it's the environment, bro. When you get out of a certain environment, man, it's sad that, a lot of times when I'm telling people, like, bro, I remember growing up, and you might even know some of the same, because we know some of the same folk, bro. We grew up,
A
together.
lot.
So,
Yeah, straight
but
up.
with some people that didn't even know what Hunters Point looked like. They never been
Hmm.
to Third Street in
For
San
real.
Francisco. You know what I'm
Straight
saying?
up.
Let alone to Oakland or some other city.
Right.
You got to get out of that mode to where you only know your block or your
Right.
community, your little area that you in. You got to venture out. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I'm thankful that, I'm thankful that I never was like blocked. I never was blocked in. I used to hang in Phil as a youngster. I used to hang in Fillmore. I used to
Right.
hang in Lakeview. I used to hang in
Right.
Sunnydale. I used to
Right.
hang in the brick homes. I used to hang out in, Hunters, certain parts of Hunters Point. Man, and that's part of the reason why I'm thankful that even to this day, people know me and they respect me. You know what I'm saying? They don't
Right.
look at me and be like, "Oh, he's a threat." Oh, then that's a nigga that used to be from here, or whatever, and might have some ill, feelings. You know what I'm
Right.
saying towards me because I'm from a certain area, because I claimed a certain area. I never claimed. I always claimed black first,
Right.
because that's what I am first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All that other stuff, where you from, and all that shit, I don't know, whatever. But I never got into that. And I would tell youngsters today, bruh, venture out, go travel, get you a passport. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If you can't go too far as going to Africa, okay, travel down to South America.
Right.